What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, and today I'm going to talk to you about a very basic but yet very important issue, and that's water. What kind of water do you use? We have reef tanks, we have planted tanks, we have all kind of requirements and specifications that we use for testing the water we use for our aquariums and reefs. But let's talk about the quality of the water. Is the water safe for you to drink, or should you buy it? Let's take a look at that.
From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh,
Now, for the sake of making this video, we're going to use 3 examples. We're going to take under consideration a 5-stage RODI unit, and we're going to look at the quality of the water that comes out of it. Now, if you guys are running any type of RODI unit, you should probably be using a TDS meter. Now, what a TDS meter is it measures the total dissolved solids which are coming in to your filtration system and going out, so that you know what the quality of the water is that you're storing or using for your system. Now, when you buy bottled water, unfortunately, you have no idea of what the TDS is. You really don't even know if there's chlorine in this water, because many of these waters are treated, which is why when people run reef tanks, they're often told not to use plain tap water or regular bottled water unless you're using distilled water, because most spring water and other sources are treated with chemicals in order to purify it. So now, for the sake of this little experiment, we are going to use a portable TDS meter. You can get one of these on Amazon. I'll try to focus here. Try to focus. You can get one of these on Amazon. I'll put a link below, and so that you can see what one I'm using. But let's start the experiment. So now I'm going to start by utilizing the TDS meter that I have mounted on my RO unit to show you the level of total dissolved solids coming out. Now, these have an in and an out, and basically it's measuring what's coming in, and it's going to give you a end result as to what's coming out, which is pretty much 0 right now, which is always hard to believe, which is why I always double check it with a separate TDS meter. It is always helpful to double check and check your numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize these 3 cups, one which I've filled with water from the RODI unit, one which I'm going to use bottled water, and one which I'm going to fill with tap water. So let's do that. So let's just come over here, turn on some good old Brooklyn tap water, fill that in the cup marked tap. We'll put that right here. Like I says, I have RODI water there. Let's turn off the water, save that water bill. Now we'll fill this one here with bottled water. This is Aquafina. You can use Poland Spring, you can use whatever you want to use, but this is actually labeled here as purified by reverse osmosis, but it is often still treated in some form or fashion, which they don't always put on the bottle. So we're going to just fill this one with bottled water. Now we have 3 samples. Now, with that being said, we'll take our old TDS3 TDS meter, take the cap off, and turn it on. Have a reading of 0. You always want to make sure you're starting with a reading of 0. Let's start by testing the RO water. I'll lift this camera up so you can see. It's actually coming up with a TDS of 1. And that can be 1, 2. You want to give it a chance, stir it around. That could be from the plastic. That could be from anything, contamination between going in the unit and going into the plastic cup. But as you can see, it is 0. Put it in, and it comes up 2. Now let's test the tap water. I'm expecting a high number from the tap water, even though we got some pretty good water. New York has some pretty good water because our systems are really old and help with the filtration. But wow, look how that TDS jumps from 0 to 39. Is it still going up? You want to stir it around a bit, make sure you get an accurate reading. 39. That is a level of 39 total dissolved solids. And that's in the tap water. So a big jump, 40-point jump from the RO unit water, which is still coming up 0. I'm shaking it off, to the tap water, which came up 38, 39, 39. You can read that. Now let's shake it off really good. There is a level of imperfection as with any test, but let's go for the bottled water. Now this is the good stuff that we pay money for in the store. Whoa, 43. Hold on, that can't be right. I'm paying for water that's worse than what I'm getting out the tap. Let's start with 0. Put it in here. 42. 42. Okay, now we're going to talk about this. Let's face it, many of us are buying bottled water because we believe it's better than drinking the tap water. But the tap water has less dissolved solids than the bottled water. And there's your experiment. RODI 2. And we're double checking it. You'll see I'm dipping it in, I'm shaking it between each to verify that the number is consistent. 39 from the tap water, as you can see. And the bottled water, 43, 44. Wait, did that go up? Yep, 43. 43, 42, 43. Either way, it's 10 points higher than the tap water. Now, I had to come out here and it was irresistible. I have to test the overflow from the pond, the container tub. Since this is straight up rainwater, it's pretty clear, but I can't help but run the old test on that and see what we get. It's going to be hard to see, so let's just say that I'm starting out on 0. I'm going to have to try to get my hand in there so that you can see. It's going to be hard to see, but I'm getting a 127 reading. 125. 24, 124 reading from the rainwater. But when we talk about total dissolved solids in rainwater, we're talking about rain is running through the leaves, plants, branches, pipes, water, everything in here. So it's not like it's treated with chemicals. So there you go, people. The moral of this story is your tanks are as good as the water you put in them. You get good when you put good effort into finding out everything about the water you use, whether it be for plants, coral, fish, or amphibians, whatever you want. You got to know what the water quality is that you're starting out with in order to predetermine if you're going to have algae outbreaks, diatom blooms, coral death, or anything like that. It all comes down to your source water. So this is D with a little educating tip moment. My goal is always to go to bed smarter than when I got up in the morning. Learn, live, laugh, and love. Hopefully you guys do well, and I wish you success in all your tanks. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out. See ya.